Hi, I'm Terry MJ, an intuitive medium. I wanted to share a little story with you from when I was about 18, 20. Back then, I knew what I didn't want to experience, but I had no idea what I did want. And I guess that roller coaster of internal uncertainty was causing me quite a lot of depression. And I had no tools or techniques on how to work through that. So I ended up taking myself to my local GP or my family GP, and she had been our family GP for many years, so I trusted her quite deeply. She suggested that I purchase two books that were designed to be read every day for a year. So I did exactly that. And what I realized at the end of the year was that I no longer had to be a victim of these practice thoughts that I had been experiencing and just allowing them to roll in and roll out like an ocean wave, I guess. And so I had changed the thoughts over that year and I was feeling so much better. So what I then realized, I looked in other areas of my life where I could apply this same technique. And I looked at the books I was reading. I was really into Stephen King back then, and I realized that reading those type of stories so repetitively, because I read them all the time, I was even looking for danger over my shoulder in the middle of the day. And I knew that that wasn't serving the idea of having more positive and uplifting thoughts. So I stopped reading those and I changed the books I was reading. And then I looked at the language I was using in conversations. And so that the language would align with how I wanted to feel. So that was an unflowing effect of reading those books every day, of changing my thoughts. Ended up changing quite a lot on the internal world that I was experiencing. So watching the thoughts and then the books I was reading and the language I was using in conversations also then changed the language I was using to structure my internal thoughts. And that really fine-tuned how I was experiencing my life. So I want to share those techniques with you. I guess it's 4 steps. Becoming really clear on what you want to experience. So this doesn't matter whether you or someone you love is going through depression, but also any area of life. This is a beneficial tool and techniques to know how to use, because it can level up and expand the experiences that we're having. So get really clear on what you want to experience or how you want to feel, or both. And then become very aware of the thoughts that you're having that don't align with that outcome. So if you want to feel a little bit more contented or joyful, and then you're having thoughts that don't align with contentment or joy, then change them. As soon as you notice them, change them. And then it's repetition, definite repetition. So doing it once or twice is not going to change the chemical structure within our bodies that are reflective of our thoughts. So we want to become very clear again. Number 1, become very clear on what your outcomes are, your desires. Recognize the thoughts, so becoming aware of the thoughts that you're having that don't align with those outcomes. Change them in the moment. And repetition. It's the repetition that makes this habit first nature and not second nature. And that's how you really start to change the internal belief structure and the perspective that you have in life, or that you have of life, and your place in it and what you're entitled to experience. We all have those little beliefs of what we're entitled to as well. Well, this will shift that as well without you even paying any attention to those areas yet. So I hope that serves you in some way. Maybe an example of a thought would be, I'm no good at, and you fill in the blank. If you're having those type of thoughts, you could change that to, I am working towards being really good at, and fill in the blank. I am getting really good at changing my thoughts. I'm getting really good at catching the thoughts that don't align with what I want. I'm really good of leveling up my thoughts to align with what I want. That's even a more clearer statement. I'm getting really good at aligning the thoughts that align with what I want to experience. I'm getting really good at thoughts that create contentment within me. I'm getting really good at creating joy within me. My perspective on life is changing every moment of every day. I'm really good at this. I'm getting really good at this. So it's that type of thing. So I hope that served you in some way, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.